Well, hello and welcome back to our series Overcoming Obstacles. We're in session 15, which is module 3, which is all about perseverance, which is, as you know, if you've been around me any length of time, know that's one of my absolute favorite subjects. Really, for me, it's the key to success, is just hanging in there. But if you haven't, if you missed some of the previous modules or series or whatever it is, sessions that we've had, hop up on YouTube. We got also on Anchor FM. We got it all on just podcast audio for you if you just want to listen to it in the car. And of course, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Web Talk, a bunch of them out there. You can catch us and get caught up. And if you have any other needs or requirements to get yourself rolling, just reach out to me at a2bforme.info/15 with Don, and we can schedule a complimentary 15-minute strategy session with you just to see how we might be able to help you out. If there's some programs we can help you out with, we'd love to do that. But maybe it's just putting you on the right direction and getting you out there for the rest of the year. All right. Well, we're in session 15 of 20, so we're going to be wrapping this thing up here around the 1st of December, and then we've got a really cool program starting to kind of get the year ended well and get the next year, 2022, cranked off on the right foot. So stay tuned for that, and also stay tuned to the end of this because we've got some more affirmations and some more neat little self-study things and to-dos that you want to get done regarding perseverance. And more importantly, in this, let me back out of here real quick so I can get to full screen for you. But we've got what we're going over this week is talent versus grit, so it's a huge subject to talk about because a lot of folks, how far. Well, I'm very talented, but things just aren't happening for me, and that does happen a lot. There's a lot of talented people out there that just ain't making it happen. So grit is a huge component. We're going to talk about that today, but mainly just about perseverance. And of course, perseverance is really all encompassing of just growth and commitment and dedication and just achievement and just hanging in there. So we want to have some tenacity. All these great things are in there. So we want to definitely keep perseverance in our tool belt of success as we go forward. So let's look at what we learned before. We talked about handling setbacks and keeping you motivated. The first module is all about handling the setbacks and not worrying about the failure, just failing forward and learning from it and going on. And then the last module we talked about motivation and how to keep yourself motivated, not depending on outside motivational sources, and just to help you go after your goals. But now that you have lots of those tools for overcoming obstacles, we want to go on and again let's get rolling into module 3 because I want to ask you a question. Would you rather be talented or be tough? That's what we're going to be talking about today. It's an interesting question, and in this session we're going to compare the two, talent versus grit. As you go through here, we're going to find out and see some of the good things on both sides of this question. Well, the athletes and actors we see on TV, they seem to have a lot of talent, and many of them do. Some of them really don't. What I see these days, like, oh my goodness gracious, no wonder. But I do realize that a lot of the things out there today on TV are really put together very quickly, but also based on the fact that there's so many people multitasking, so they're really not paying attention to the acting anyway. But a lot of them do have a lot of talent. But having the resolve to continue under any circumstance can be much more valuable and can be applied to all your areas of life. So in other words, your athletic ability or your stage presence won't do anything to help you overcome obstacles in other areas of your life. And I just noticed we spelled presents wrong, but anyway, at least we didn't make it Christmas presents. But if you've got all the talent in the world, but is it going to help you in other areas of your life? And remember, we're talking about A to B for me. Success, not just having dollar signs as the S's. We're talking about all the other things in your life. There's so many different areas. And so, and it's really almost impossibly super talented in all the different areas of your life. So you want to be sure that under any circumstances that you've got valuable tools to help you overcome obstacles in those other areas. But perseverance is one of the huge ones, and in a quick definition of it is just continuing a course of action, even in the face of difficulty or with little or no indication of success. And a lot of times you go through, I had someone talk to me about A to B for me the other day, and I said, well, sometimes you think it's more of a ministry than a business, but it really doesn't matter. I'm here to help people. And if it's just a flat ministry, that's fine. But the business side of it, making a few dollars and getting things rolling and being rewarded for my efforts is great as well. But developing your ability to persevere gives you one more advantage over your challenge because it's important in overcoming obstacles. In this module, that's all really we're going to talk about is perseverance. And talent has advantages, but it's often overrated, and people let that lack of talent, be a stumbling block for them. We see it a lot in coaching and other areas. And I was talking to an engineer the other day, a building engineer, and he said that they actually have it in that industry as well, which is you get this degree and you go out there and try and do things, and you don't have all the experience, and so you get this imposter syndrome going on. But we used to call that fake it till you make it. And you just get out there and just keep rolling. Don't worry about having that imposter syndrome, because you're talented. You've been God-given gifts and talents and attributes, and you're here to share and use. But talent is often overrated. Well, let's take a look real quick on how. Well, number one, talent can make the journey easier. But if you have talent for a particular area, such as music, you'll have an easier time making progress. The journey's smoother and faster. So, everybody else had the wanted sign up, talented people, right, in just particular areas. And so, if you do have that talent, if you were born a musical prodigy, well, it makes life a lot easier. It's just not tough. But a lot of times, you just got to go out and grab that talent. But it can make the journey easier. So, there's nothing wrong with talent. We're certainly not putting talent down. If you got it, use it to your advantage, because it is going to make it a lot easier for you to make progress. Number two, but talent alone is insufficient. I love the quote by Larry Bird. He said, I don't know if I practice more than anybody, but I sure practice enough, and I still wonder if somebody somewhere was practicing more than me. But talent doesn't eliminate the need for practice. It just doesn't. You have to hone in those skills really on a daily basis, because talent without practice is no more valuable than not having the talent in the first place. Because if you're not going to hone it, not going to make it better and get better every single day, you might as well not even have it if you're not going to use it. The athletes you see on TV have both talent and years of intense practice. I mean, I used to watch Larry back in the day, and he would do the free throw the free throw shoot around type thing, and just never miss. They'd have a whole rack of balls. He'd just go through them, and then roll up another rack of balls. He'd go through them, but that's part of intense practice. One of my mentors, James Mounchak, he was one of the first the ABC show. About the millionaires. He was one of the first one of those, but he went to Cincinnati, and he realized early he wanted to play basketball, but he just didn't have a lot of interior talent. And back in the day, they were starting a 3-point shot. Bringing it into the league, and so he just practiced 3 points every day. He'd 100, 150, 200 3-point shots a day, and really got to be a great 3-point shooter, and that's how he made the team. So sometimes, whatever it is you're going to do, you got to get out there and you got to hone it in, and you got to practice. Talent isn't a choice. you can't choose to have a particular talent. You either have it or you don't. And we see that a lot. There are a lot of natural born can do this. There's natural born salespeople. There's natural born communicators. There's natural born, health workers. I mean, just people that just are caring and this, that, and the other. But ideally, your interests and talents, you want to have them in alignment because that's when you're going to be successful. When you're interested in what you're good at. And so sometimes when we go through our mentoring and our coaching is kind of that talent survey. Hey, what are you good at, and then what are you interested in? Let's see if we can't put those two together and make it a win-win for you. But the bottom line is you can go out and you can work on talent. You can get education, and you can go through and you can just keep working and working and working and get great at things. But there are a lot of people that are just, I mean, it's just natural born, and that's what a lot of athletes are. And you see these guys in the NFL, they were made for that. I mean, yes, they have honed it over the years, and they have had some people work with them, but they have that inborn talent. And same thing with these musical prodigies. People just, a lot of that stuff people can't learn. It's just there. And people like that. And number 4, talent is only necessary at the highest levels. In most cases, this is very, very true. It doesn't even come up until you're just reaching for the very, very top percent of things. I mean, can you be the world's greatest pianist or golfer without talent? Well, no, you can't. I mean, we see these guys every weekend, out there, playing golf, and you're like, man, look at those guys. All they do is go around and play golf all week, and they make millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they got big houses and all that, blah blah blah. Well, these guys, they had natural born talent, and they don't just walk out there and do it. They practice. But you can make a living playing golf or piano or any of that without much talent, provided you work hard enough and long enough. So you can learn these things and carve out a living. The guy that just makes the cut every week in the golf tournament, he lives pretty well, and he gets to play golf and travel the world. So it's, and there are guys who don't even make the cut half the time. They still make a good living because you got all these other things you can do, and sponsors and these types of things, or you can just get out there and be a good golfer. I mean, if you were at any level, you're always better than someone else, right? So if you know a little bit more about piano than the next guy, you can teach the next guy everything you know. Or same thing with golf. But you don't have to be the world's greatest at things to enjoy them and to live a good life. But if you want to go to the highest levels, then talent's going to have to show up, because that's the key. All right, well, there's nothing wrong, like I said, with being talented. You just need a talent strategy. What do you have? Like I said, we sit down and look at that with you. But obviously, the more talent you got, the better. So if we go through that talent survey and it's just obvious what you need to be doing, then stop whatever it is that you're doing. If you're not utilizing your talent, let's get it rolling. But and sometimes you say, well, I don't like doing that. Well, then we got a crossroads. We got to figure out what's really most important to you, and what are you going to be excited about. But like I said, talent isn't enough to ensure success. So if you've got it and you don't want your success, and a lot of times you come around to it. You get in there and you have this natural born talent, but you don't like doing that, and then years later you realize, man, I've been told so many times I'm good at this. I just need to give it up and go for it and love it and get it going. But because it just makes progress so much easier and faster. So if you have a talent, we figure out what it is. And we can figure out a way for you to do something, utilize that talent, and enjoy it. Maybe there's a way that you can use it you just haven't come across yet. We want to help you do that because it does make it much easier and faster to progress. Let's talk about grit. Well, here's my definition of grit: guts, resilience, initiative, and tenacity. That's your acronym right there. So let's see how grit can be enough to ensure success in all areas of your life. And I know a lot of you look at grit and you think you're seeing John Wayne there with his patch on his eye. But grit is enough to achieve about 99% of your goals. So let's talk about grit and growth and how this works. But don't be overly concerned about talent. A lot of folks, again, they dismiss themselves because they don't have talent. But if you have the ability to persist and maintain a positive attitude, you can be successful at almost anything. You can just get out there and make it happen. I have, in my lifetime, seen many situations where I'm like, damn, I got way more on the ball than that guy, and you probably have to. And man, that gal, gum, she didn't even go to college or anything. Look at her, she's a millionaire now. And I mean, I did all this. I got this degree, and I got my master's, and all this. And man, I'm sitting here struggling. Well, it's just getting out there and persisting and maintaining a positive attitude and just keeping it going. And that really does make the difference in most cases. And again, grit is enough to achieve about 99% of your goals. You just have to stick to it and make it happen and get that plan and work that plan. Number two, anyone can have grit, especially at level one. there's a level one grit, right? I mean, it's the result of a certain way of thinking and viewing the world. And you can choose your beliefs and your thoughts. Therefore, you can have grit. And so all you have to do is start today. In our A to B for Me strategy, that first level, that blue level is thoughts. And you've got to get those thoughts right and those beliefs right. And once we get those thoughts and beliefs right and on track, then action is really a lot simpler. And you can keep it going because you get your subconscious on board, and so you can start today. I mean, you can make yourself do something that you don't want to do, like clean out your desk or purge your unneeded emails, right? I mean, just start with a level one grit project, something you don't want to do. Clean out the garage, whatever it is in your life, whether it's personal, whatever it is. If you got to make 100 phone calls and you just not even going to pick up the phone, well, how about making one? How about making 5? How about making 10? And just and start on grit level 1 and just keep moving up. But you got to be tough, and you just got to get it done. You just have to look at your why. You got to look at what your yes is. What in the world is going to make me excited and get me rolling? What I really want to do, and if it's big enough, then just dadgummit, just get out there and get started and get it going. But you got to be tough enough to get it done. So you just got to start somewhere, and that somewhere is grit level 1. And anyone can have grit level 1. And I know you look at it and say, I don't understand what cleaning out my desk or purging my unneeded emails has to do with anything. Well, it does. It subconsciously it does. It's a situation where your brain is saying we can't even knock out these little bitty things. How in the world? Look at all this clutter in our life. We got clutter all over our desk, in our drawers. Can't find anything. Got all these damn emails that we don't need in here, and it's frustrating. We look at them every day, don't really do anything with them. And you get the subconscious on board by just taking care of these small things. And then once the subconscious is on board and saying, okay, well, we did that. I guess maybe we can move up to grit level 2 now. So I got to start somewhere, just like anything. Number 3, grit begets grit. So you have to decide what's your grit level right now, because developing grit is like building your biceps. I mean, I just started a new program last week. It was so funny. It's called Lift 4. And I had not really been doing just a ton of lifting here recently. I've been doing other programs. And so Monday was chest and triceps. And I mean, I killed my triceps. I mean, my chest, it was just, I didn't realize it, but that workout just took them out. And so here I was Tuesday morning. I couldn't even touch my face. I mean, I could barely brush my teeth. I almost had to get a straw to drink my coffee because my arms were just they just wouldn't go up to, above my chin. It was a rough couple of days. So, but now, this week they're fine. We got some growth out of them. We got them back into the routine, and that's what it takes. In grit, you got to get out there, and you have to, do some ripping and tearing in your life. And that's all you're doing when you're working out. You're ripping and tearing, and then it's repairing. And when you repair your biceps or your triceps, and that's when they get stronger and bigger. And that's the same thing with grit. You get out there and you rip and tear things, and then it's all going to get repaired, and then you're going to end up stronger. And it's the same thing, same principle. But your ability to demonstrate resolve, it just grows with practice. The more that you get out there and make things happen, the more phone calls you make, the more your resolve is going to be strong. So make yourself do something each day that's unappealing. I mean, just make yourself do it. Whatever it is that is lacking in your key productive indicators, the key actions, the things that you're not doing that you know you need to be doing, get back to level one grit and let's just get it going and make it happen. Because I'm telling you, grit begets grit. It's just like building those muscles. I mean, if you look at some of the big bodybuilders when they were kids, they didn't grow up looking like that. You know, they worked hard to make that happen. So get out there and just start and just keep adding on and adding on and adding on. It'll just grow the more that you utilize it. Number four, grit, it really is calming. That might seem counterintuitive, but it's true. When you have determination, you don't have any choices to make. The choice is already made. You simply keep moving forward. It's just like I always got a kick out of Steve Jobs. You know, he always wore a black shirt. You know, I mean, kind of wore the same thing every day because then that's one less thing you had to think about. Just grab. You don't have to think about what color am I wearing. Just grab one, right? But and that's the way it is with grit. When we've already made a decision and the subconscious is on board that hey, we're just going to do this no matter what, then there aren't any choices to make. And so my advice to you is just keep calm and grit on. Right? Just get it going and go forward, and just keep moving forward. Now, constant self-questioning is stressful and exhausting. We know that. So every day, if you don't have this plan set up, and you got to think about what you're going to do. Am I going to do this? Am I not? You're self-questioning yourself every single day. The subconscious is coming in saying, I don't know, maybe we'll do this. And it's just very stressful and exhausting. And a lot of you, that's just how your days are and how your weeks are, how your months are. And you get into this stuff, and that's where alcohol and drugs and all these damn medications and everything come in because you're not medicating the situation. You're just adding on stuff to cause you more stress and be more exhausting. But when you have only a single choice, life is so much simpler. So just make that choice to do it now. Because having too many choices, it just creates anxiety in your life. And grit is among the most important attributes to possess. So just make the decision every day, I'm going to get this done. And if you don't get it all done, it's okay. Pick it up tomorrow and let's finish it up. But just got to get out of this self-questioning mode and just have a plan, stick to it, and get it rolling. All right. Well, grit can overcome the lack of talent in most situations. So, in my opinion, it's grit over talent. But unless you need to be in the top, 0.25% of something, talent is really irrelevant because it only makes the journey a little easier. Now, we all like easy. So that's why here when we're doing your talent survey and doing your all in the 5 days of you, we go through your why and your purposes, all these types of things. We want to try and merge those things together. But if you want to be in the top 0.25%, then you have to get out there. And I'm not talking about 25%. I'm talking about 1/4%. Then talent is really kind of irrelevant because you can make it. And grit will get you through. Like I said, 99% of your goals. It just takes grit to get in there and get it rolling. A lot of folks are like, well, I really need to go out and get an MBA to get that done. Well, do you? Yeah, it might be easier. I mean, a lot of people get out there and say, well, you got to have an MBA for this job. Really? I don't know. Maybe you do. But and if it makes you feel better, do it. If that's part of your goals that you want to have education level you want to attain, then yeah, go get it. But don't use it as an excuse or a crutch. If you got enough grit, you can make it happen. All right. Well, grit versus talent, which is better? Well, the amount of grit you possess, I think, is more relevant than the amount of talent you possess. We've kind of hopefully brought that to bear here. Talent's nice to have. It's like having a sports car instead of an economy sedan, right? I mean, if you're on the super highway of success, you can speed on through. But if you got an economy sedan, you can plug on through and you can make it happen. Yeah, you probably have less student loans that way, but both will take you to the same place. One just takes longer. So let's talk about 10 things that require zero talent but can still lead you to success. Number one is just being on time. Being on time at your job, being on time if you're an entrepreneur in your life, getting up, getting out of bed, getting things rolling. But being on time is one of those things that requires zero talent. Making a bigger effort requires zero talent. You're just putting more effort in, more action in. Improving your health and energy. It takes zero talent to get out there and work out. To get your butt out of bed and do something, it's zero talent. Just do it. I mean, my goodness, there's so many programs out there. Again, if you're looking for some programs, hop up to my site, Beachbody, and look at some of those, the workouts that we do. It's $99 a year to get on the online program, and you got I was gonna say zillions, but there's hundreds of programs that you can choose from, and there's people that are teaching you, and then you got all the workout sheets and everything you need. So there's ways to improve your health and energy that don't require really any talent. Having a positive attitude certainly doesn't require talent. It takes determination and the will to do that, but it doesn't really require any talent. Living with passion. Using powerful body language. You can learn these things. Just the willing to learn doesn't require any talent. Just get out there and do it. Going the extra mile, the grit factor doesn't require any talent. Being prepared for anything and having a strong work ethic, all those things don't cost anything, but they are going to lead you to success. No talent required here. All right. All talent, but all talent in the world is useless again if it isn't applied diligently. We talked about that before. The ability to persist during any challenge is the key to long-term success. So you can have all the talent in the world, it ain't gonna matter if you don't use it diligently. And I love this quote by Angela Duckworth. She wrote a book called Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance, which I highly recommend. You might put that in your little notes today to get up on Amazon and grab that. But Angela says, without effort, your skill is nothing more than what you could have done but didn't. So without effort, ain't nothing going to happen. I mean, I've seen people, these talent surveys. I've seen them with these wonderful, all these great attributes that they have. They've taken all the tests and they just test out so strong. But if they're not willing to put out the effort, all that doesn't matter. So whatever God's gifts are that have been bestowed to you, if you're not utilizing them, then you might as well just not even have them. So get out there and make it happen. Well, take control of your beliefs on success and your perspective on life, because the bottom line is you are in control. A lot of you may not feel like you're in control, but you are. And you got to believe that persistence is more important than talent. And you just have to get that laid into your brain. Hopefully you have some of both, but if you only have one, I'm telling you, grit is more useful. So don't just stop this pity party about I'm not educated enough, I don't know this, I don't know that. You can learn all the things that you need to learn. Just keep rowing and keep going. And if you, again, even without any of that, just fail and then learn what didn't happen. And if you got enough grit, you're going to learn they're going to run out of ways to fail. So if you got enough persistence and perseverance, you're going to make it happen. But take control of your beliefs on success and your perspective on life and just make this thing happen for yourself, because you are in control. All right, well, next time we're going to talk about 10 strategies to help you finish what you start. So 10 strategies for perseverance, and we're going to lay those out for you next week. But first, how about our to-dos? Here's what you need to do today. First of all, you want to pick one thing, just one thing that you've been putting off, and do it now while it's still fresh on your mind. So get out your journal, get out your to do, whatever it is, and pick one thing that you've been putting off and just do it and get it out of the way. And I'm telling you, the subconscious is going, wow, hey, I can't believe we actually did that. But just pick one. Don't pick a whole list now. Just pick one that you've been putting off and do it now. Now, tomorrow, how about doing one more thing that you'd rather not do? So there's something out there that's been on your to-do list for, I don't like to-do lists anyway, but we put them on here because everybody likes them. But you put one more thing on that's been on your list you hadn't done and get out there and do it. Well, why haven't you done it? Because you just rather not do it, right? Well, get out there and do it. And tomorrow, let's do that other thing that we didn't want to do. And then start a habit of doing unwanted tasks quickly and as soon as you can. Just start that habit, and the only way to start it is again grit level 1. Whatever it is, just start it and get it going. And the more that you go through, and when your percent of key productive indicators and key actions goes up in our weekly accountability meetings, for those of you that are in our program, you're going to see that this habit is forming for yourself of doing these unwanted tasks and getting them done very, very quickly. Because all you're doing when you're not doing this, Darren Hardy calls it contracts that aren't fulfilled. All these little things that you've got out there that you need to be doing are contracts in your life that are unfulfilled, and they're just clogging your brain. And again, anytime you're clogged with all these decisions, then you don't do anything. It's like in sales, when you give a client 18 different options, they're not going to make a decision. You're giving them way too many options. You'll give them 3. Here's the highest one. Here's the medium one. Here's the lowest one. Most people go with the medium one. So which one do you think's best for you? Give them 3 choices. They'll pick the average. They'll pick the middle one, and then you can round up, sell them to the top one. But the bottom line is, you got to start a habit of doing the unwanted. But you can't have a ton of tasks out there. You got to whittle this thing down, or your brain's just gonna stop and be confused. All right. Well, let's talk about affirmation today. I've got one out here for you, and it's called "I am naturally motivated to persevere." And so this is you, and we're going to talk about you here for a little bit. My every instinct knows that I am a winner. The wealth of experience and knowledge I gain in every circumstance allows me to be better prepared in the future. When I experience failure, I allow myself to feel disappointed. I let myself experience sadness and inadequacy for a while because I know that they are effective in the healing process. But at the end of that phase, I bounce back with even more fire than before. I use my experiences of disappointment to fuel my motivation the next time around. Because of my prior challenges, I approach new situations with more confidence in my abilities to come out on top. Perseverance is the easy road for me. Motivation and determination are my way of life, and these traits constitute the ideology that differentiates me from my competitors. Whether I am competing against a coworker for a key promotion or just against the hardships of life, continuing on until I win is easy for me. My motivation to keep going comes from deep inside me. I am confident that I know what is best for me, and once I make that decision, there is no turning back. I can push through. Today, I rely on my inborn strength to persevere. Regardless of my circumstances, I ride the tide of life's challenges. If I fall overboard, I simply pick up the pieces and start again. Each situation I encounter is worthy of my resolve and determination. So this is one that you really just might want to start plugging in every night, every day for a while. If you're having problems, hanging in there and making things happen. If you're having some self-doubt issues, and get in here and just go take this one. It's in the resource under the resources tab in our A to B for Me community. If you're not in our community, just reach out to me. I can send you a PDF of it. But just get in here and read this thing every day. I record it as well on your mobile device and listen to it and get it ingrained into your subconscious. And here's some self-reflection questions for you. How do my actions show that I persevere in the face of adversity? And this is going to be proof for your subconscious. So when you write these things down, and maybe you don't have any right now, so let's change this around so that we do. And by utilizing this affirmation, it'll create these things for you. Number 2, can determination and motivation help me move past insecurity? Well, the answer to that is yes, but you have to believe it will, and it can, and figure out how it does. And number 3, when do I most feel like a winner? And when would I like to feel more confident in myself? So these are 3 key questions here. There's probably more than one. I guess there's 4 questions there in 3 topics that we'll be going over in your weekly accountability meetings this year for all those folks in this week for all you folks in the program. So consider these strongly, and let's get some good stuff that we can talk about and move forward on affirmations for perseverance. All right, well, let me take that down, and we are going to go on to wrapping it up. And I want to thank you for attending, and obviously I want you to have an awesome week. I want you to always do that and keep moving in the direction of your dreams. And again, if you need some help, if you're not in our program and you would like to take advantage of weekly accountability meetings and these types of things, you can hop up a2bforme.com and check out our different programs, or just schedule a one-on-one with me at a2bforme.info/15 with Don. There'll be 4 questions come up when you try to make that appointment, and just be sure that you print that out and be ready, because that's going to be our starting point, those 4 questions, so that we can figure out a way to get you rolling on down the road. All right, again, if you haven't made all the sessions, you can go back and catch them on YouTube. We have a particular section for overcoming obstacles. You can just go on there, a playlist, and just get started on that. Also, we're on Anchor FM if you want to do the podcast, just listen to it in the car or while you're jogging. And then Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, we are there. So we're just about everywhere. So reach out to us and get these things going. I'm going to hop back in here real quick and say goodbye to you, as I always do, because, hey, I want you to have a great week. Keep moving in the direction of your dreams. Tomorrow, Thursday, we've got a Thrive Thursday for you with James Clear, as we always do, and it's got some really, really neat stuff in it for you. A lot of neat thoughts and just ideas to take and work on and hone your skills and your self-motivation and your self-development. So reach out to us tomorrow. We'll be here. And again, if you miss it, you can go up to YouTube. We got a Thrive Thursday playlist as well. So catch it there. All right. Well, that's it for today. Have a great one, and we will talk to you